Hi, everybody. I have been sick for a week and a half, and I was kind of beating myself up thinking I hadn't done anything, except that I worked for 2 days in that time frame, and I've been working on some stuff for the nurses that I work with because I have this knowledge base, and I just feel like I should utilize it and tell you that there's a lot of opportunity out there to fix things. Like right now, we're having a hard time with our nurses, for our nurses, really, because our management is like a little bit crazy and totally lovable, but doesn't know how to say no. And so what happens is she bites off more than she can chew without really consulting anybody. And then here we are. We have hired a new surgeon. We are short staffed, and we're all like going, oh, and we're supposed to start being on call? Like, no. So I've been working a lot with AI to kind of put stuff together and research and find out, what is the law in my state, which is Washington State, what is, federal state laws about being on call and also about putting inexperienced people in a position that they shouldn't be in. And in nursing, believe it or not, we have more control than we think. So I'm really feeling a little good about it. It's hard because ultimately I'm an introvert. And so when I step up to this stuff, I can feel myself shrinking, thinking I don't have the right to say anything. I'm not that knowledgeable. But then when I start talking about it and reviewing it and uh, putting the ideas out there and conceptualizing things, I think, wow, where did that come from? And I'm supposed to be sick this week. So anyway, I just wanted to run that through to you guys and to say that you know way more than you think you do, always. And you need to give yourself credit for that. And sometimes the way to find out how much you really know is I'll take my AI, chat AI, and I'll just, I call it verbaging. I verbage what I'm thinking and feeling and ask AI, excuse me, to put it into uh, put it together in a way that I can understand better. And it'll just put it together, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm trying to say. That makes sense. And then I can move from there and turn that into something else and something else and something else. Um, in terms of being sick, I got a flu. It came on a Friday evening, and oh my God, by Saturday morning, I couldn't believe how sick I was. And but a Sunday, I had to go out because I had to go get some NyQuil because I pretty much run out. And what I really wanted to do, and this is the benefit of being pretty much retired, is I gave myself permission to do nothing, to literally sleep and eat and go back to bed. And I read a lot and I watched a lot of TV, but mostly I did nothing. I didn't want my body to move. I was so uncomfortable and sick. So, so just to remind you that it's important to take care of yourself. And one of those things that means is that when you're sick, your body's telling you time to slow down. And your response should be get better at it. Get better at relaxing and taking care of yourself because we live in a world that says we should race around and be, you know, on the go all the time. And even me, while I was sick, I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm just wasting so much time. And yet I got up and went to the grocery store and got food. I did a load of laundry. I ran the dishwasher. I have been keeping up with this nursing thing. At the end of the week, a week after I got sick, I that was yesterday and the day before, I actually felt a lot better. And so I went to work. So I made money. So my old self was saying, blah, blah, blah. You're not doing anything. You're wasting all your time. But that's the benefit of aging is you get to pick and choose where you want to utilize your time, and you eventually get over being guilty for doing quote unquote nothing, which isn't true. You're always doing something. And what else did I want to talk to you guys about today? I've been doing, like I said, I was doing some pretty great, well, I think they're good videos about nursing and how to help nurses to be able to say no with knowledge, which means you have to do a little research and find out what does the state say about this and how does it support me. One of the situations is that putting inexperienced nurses in the operating room, and for me, my biggest responsibility to that is that I protect nurses. That's my big thing. So they may find me overbearing and telling them that it's not okay for them to say, yes, I'll go in there. It's not okay. That they do have the right to learn and be comfortable in where they are. And in the operating room, it's a big, whole different way of living. It's just, it's not simple. And not that I'm saying any other kind of nursing is simple. I'm saying that the operating room is much more, you got to have a lot on board when you go in there. And it took me, even in this job, it took me a year and a half or 2 years before I was like going, okay, I'm completely competent to be in this room and be doing what I'm doing here. Because even though I had all that experience for years and years of it, off and on, in pre-op, post-op, working in the whole area, I still didn't have that level of confidence I do today. And there's a lot of learning. There's no stopgap. Was it stopgap? You learn all the time. You learn from experiences. You learn because, oh, gee, I've not done this procedure before. So you go online to YouTube and you look it up and you read about it and you learn about it. You have to be able to acknowledge in the room that you don't know, because the surgeon has the ultimate know-all. So it's okay. You have to learn to be able to step up and say, okay, I'm uncomfortable, and can you tell me what I need to do here? It's hard. It was hard because as I said before, I'm kind of an introvert, and I didn't believe in my voice, and now I do. And so I really try and teach nurses to be more assertive and to be more aware of their absolute knowledge. I mean, nurses are really smart people because we never stop. Excuse me. We never stop learning. We're always learning. We have to learn. Things change so fast in medicine that one day we're using one product and the next day we're trying something else. And so we have to be able to go in and understand it and be able to tell the patients, this is why we're doing this. And I mean, I think some people think it's an easy job. And I know a lot of nurses come in thinking, oh, it's a piece of cake and it's good money. But it is a job unto itself. I don't know any other job that's like it. You know, I'm proud of it, but for a long time I was scared of it. I was scared to be a nurse, even though I was a nurse 40 years, 50 years. So now I dabble in it. I work just 1 or 2 days a week, and the rest of the time I'm YouTubing and I try to stay out of it. But you know what? I feel like new nurses, they don't know how to say no. They don't know how to say, I think they know how to say, sure, I'll do that, without really knowing it, because they want to please. That's part of, being a nurse, is to please people. And I think you have to know how to say no, especially in an OR environment. And then the other thing is that when you're in the operating room, you also have to be, I named it today as a hawk. You have to be a hawk, because once the patient is in the operation, then your job is to keep an eye on every little thing going on in the room. You have to anticipate Is the IV almost empty? Anesthesia needs another bag of IV. Is the the irrigation bottle almost empty? Are the monitors all working correctly? Is the physician doing okay? How is the scrub tech doing? Constantly, while you're still charting like a crazy person. Yeah. So I'm fighting for the nurses. And I hate that word fighting, but I am standing up among them and saying, look, you have to be able to say no if you're uncomfortable with this, and here's how to do it. So this whole debate that we're having right now is about call, and they've involved the State Nurses Association, which is awesome. And then they're just all waiting for the answer to come. And I'm providing them with opportunity to say, okay, here's something else that could happen. And here's something else. And here's what we could do. We could offer them this instead of just sitting back and just waiting for the state to decide. And the long talks. I mean, it goes to the state, and then the state has to come and talk to the human resource person, who has to talk to the CEO, who has to talk to the surgeon and the manager. And it's just like this. Like, let's just get down to basics and see the truth of what's happening right now. And I'm kind of that kind of person. So I just like get right on it. Come on. Which is how I kind of like to do my coaching. In case you guys want to know. I am not a no bullshit coach. If you want to get to the point and find tools to change your environment and changing the way you see things, I can help you with that. And I'm living proof of it. I'm doing the work, and there's nothing really in it for me. My job is secure enough. And it's unfortunate that some nurses out there my age are on the job retired. They don't really care. And it's hard for me because I know some of those nurses, and I talk to them about it. And, I say, hey, you remember what it was like to not know stuff. And remember what that was like. That was so uncomfortable. It was terrible. And it was like a thing. When I was a young nurse, it was a thing that, old nurses ate their young. That was the thing that they used to say. And they did. I mean, I got eaten a lot. But I really learned at that point that is not the way. That is not the way. So I encourage learning. And sometimes I'm tough. I'll agree with that. I'm tough sometimes. But it's so that you create this image of yourself as a nurse of being a strong and committed person who has the patient's good health in mind and your own. And there's more to it than just passing meds. I never did med surg, so I don't really know what that was like. I mean, when I first became a nurse, I think I did. I worked in orthopedics. And yeah, I worked on a unit where they did halos on people. That was a long time ago. But I always knew I wanted to be in OB. And so in the OB, I did lots and lots of scrubbing and circulating and pre-op and post-op and all of that. So that's how I got my basis. But even then, I didn't know I knew how much I knew. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I just was in the mood to go live, and I hope that helps you to think about your life and how to stand in your own understanding and not to get afraid. I mean, don't get afraid. I mean, that's our natural go-to. I've noticed lately watching movies, and you think you'd notice it too, that every time you see a movie where there's a woman that's afraid, she's hyperventilating. Like, I don't think that's what every woman does. Even that men are doing it. Well, if they really were doing that, they would pass out. So they want us to see, I think it's like they want us to see fear as this thing that happens. I don't think we all go there when we're in fear. I think we all do it a little bit differently. So I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, that's because I'm a little sick and my little head's a little wobbly. Uh, anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. And if you get the flu, take care of yourself. That was the other thing I was going to tell you about. I did nothing. I drank a lot of water. NyQuil. I had soup frozen in the fridge, which was so good. And I actually got up one day and cooked and made a cream-based seafood chowder with salmon, shrimp, and clams and clam base. It was so good. Froze some of that too. Because when you're single, you have to have, it's easier to have food available up there. And I'm tired of just eating meat and potatoes and vegetables, which I do eat a lot. Did last night. And yeah, that's my world. Oh, and my birthday was Tuesday, January 26th. I had a lot of people texting me, and I loved it. It was really sweet of everybody to send me information and good wishes. So anyway, love you dearly. Have it easy. Be brave. Stand up. Don't be afraid. Fear is false evidence appearing real. There you have it. Love you dearly.